5 must-dos to get rid of candida or yeast problems in your body and keep them away for good. I'm about to give you the 5 things that have to be done in order to really snuff this problem out and get it controlled. And let's do a little bit of backstory on candida yeast. You can understand it just a little bit, some of the symptoms that are involved with it, but then these 5 major things that must be done. You can start implementing them today. Let's go. So candida inside the system, your body could be under the influence of candida imbalance. All right, I'm gonna talk about the ways to know this, but candida is a common type of fungus in the body. It's normally in your mouth, it's in your intestines, it's in your skin in small amounts. You need to have it. It's supposed to be there, but if it grows uncontrollably, it can cause an infection. And your body's spending all kinds of energy, all kinds of immune reserves, so it depletes your immune system, to try to fight this off, and you can gain weight, a lot of weight in the process. So if your immune system function is down, if you have a white colored tongue, if you are gaining weight and you're not understanding why because your diet hasn't really changed, if you have a lot of digestive distress, bloating, gas, these are implications of it. If your skin has a lot of itchiness to it, sores to it, breakouts to it, then I would really be leaning into and taking a good hard look of how is yeast balancing inside your body. The obvious one, of course, is a yeast infection, reproductive system infections, too much yeast, too much candida built up, especially in the lower digestive tract and the reproductive area. This is another factor. How do we get this under control? So if you've constantly gone through yeast infections or UTIs and you've always used antibiotics, you've actually made the candida buildup in your body worse because antibiotics destroy the good bacteria. The good bacteria keep the candida in balance. So short term, you get the results, but long term, you make it worse. That's a major cause of how this goes down. 5 must-do steps. Here they are, okay? There are 2 armies going on in your body if we were to keep it real simple. One is that candida and that yeast army. Number 2 is a bacterial army. Though there's other armies involved, there's many other armies, but for the sake of the argument, these 2 are the ones that get out of balance. And if they get out of balance and one army is fed too much, and one army is fed too little, there will be an overtaking and there is war inside of your body. Your immune system's gonna suffer from it like we talked about. Your digestive system's gonna suffer, your energy's gonna suffer, your skin's gonna suffer. So how do we straighten this out? So step number 1 must do is you need to starve the candida army. The candida army, which we want some of them in there, but we gotta get them at bay, they feed off of lactose and sugar. So we need to cut out all forms of dairy. We need to cut out all forms of carbohydrates that feed these. So I'm talking breads, chips, grains, crackers, even fruits outside of berries, Granny Smith apples, and grapefruits. All the higher glycemic fruits, they're all feeding that army. So dairy's got to go. Refined sugars and carbs got to go. They are the primary fuel for the fungal candida army. Now, then we want to strengthen the defenders, the bacteria in our body. These are called probiotics. Those are your good bacteria. And there are actually 3 types of biotics that are important for this army. So number 1, the probiotic itself. Now these are found plentiful in fermented foods. So you want to feed your body fermented foods, sauerkraut, pickles, kombucha. Maybe you got to watch the sugar content on that one. Kefir. I would stay away from yogurt because it's going to have dairy and it's going to have sugar. So it's going to feed the bad army. So we want fermented foods going into our system. The fermented food itself is going to be heavy in prebiotics. That is food for the bacteria and the army that is already inside you trying to fight off these candida invaders. It also is going to add more soldiers, more reinforcements in the form of probiotics. Fermented foods are high in them. And it's going to help enhance that once the soldiers get fed and once we have more of them, postbiotics are what they excrete and what they produce. And what probiotics excrete are called postbiotics. Now, postbiotics are things like cellulase enzymes. Cellulase enzymes that are released by probiotics break down the cell walls and destroy candida. Whoa! So now we got this army being fed, being enhanced, and producing weapons that actually destroy the other army and keep it at bay. Fantastic. Fermented foods are the ultimate source. Number 3 thing that must be done, we want to also feed the body coconut oil. Coconut oil is going to reinforce this army. It is going to have acids in it called caprylic acid or lauric acid. Caprylic acid also destroys the cell lining of these yeast cells. So coconut oil, organic, unrefined is what I'd recommend. It is also high in lauric acid, aka monolaurin, which strengthens that immune system. It's going to strengthen your defense system. Number 4, apple cider vinegar. You down with ACV? Yeah, you know me. It is an antifungal. So 2 tablespoons twice a day during this period of time to snuff out that army. So we are dropping bombs on that Candida army and knocking it down. We cut off their food supply. We strengthen the army against it. Now we're doing missiles and bombs that we're getting this with coconut oil, apple cider vinegar, and finally, oregano oil may be added in. It inhibits the Candida growth, so it won't allow that army to multiply and replenish itself. It's potent tasting. I normally take it in a capsule form, in a powdered form, because that oil is, it's got a kick to it. So that's how I like to take mine, but during that period of time, I would take it. I mix mine with monolaurin and lauric acid to get an extra boost to the immune system, but oregano is another potent destroyer of that Candida army. 5 things that must happen. Go on a sugar fast and cut the dairy, get fermented foods in and feed the pre, pro, and postbiotics inside of your body. Put in coconut oil, 1 to 2 tablespoons a day is what I would recommend to get caprylic and lauric acid. Apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons a day to get the antifungal effect, and then oregano oil as directed on the container of what you're taking. Somewhere around 100 to 500 milligrams of that a day is what you'll be taking in. So there it is, the 5 must-dos for Candida. If you need help with your sugar fast or the next steps, check out the resources below and these next videos so you can make health simple. Hit the subscribe and I'll keep bringing it for you.